everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you happen to be new. Today is a very special day. It is my 30th birthday. So the day that this video goes up is actually my birthday, March 7th. So I am 30 years old today. It feels really good. I am very happy to be entering my 30s. My 20s served me well. I learned so much in my 20s and I'm just really excited to see what my 30s have in store for me. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about 30 things that I learned in 30 years. The majority of these things are things that I learned in my 20s, really. I feel like I learned so much in my 20s. So before I really get into it, if you guys are new here or if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button down below. It really helps out my channel. Also give this video a thumbs up. That really helps my videos get pushed out into the YouTube universe and helps more people see my videos. Definitely subscribe if you haven't yet. It's so easy, it's free. Just click the red subscribe button down below and that would be much appreciated. And yeah, let's just get right into the video. The first thing that I learned is that, I'm jumping right into it, we're getting right into it, guys, that I am an alcoholic. And that is something that I figured out when I was 26. I may have figured it out sooner than that, but I got sober when I was 26, as a lot of you already know. And I learned that sobriety was the greatest gift that I could give myself and my family. So going on 4 years in just a few days. So number 2, not everybody's gonna like me. And that is okay. The next thing, prioritizing self-care is non-negotiable. There was a point in my life where I did not prioritize self-care. It was hard for me to get out of bed in the morning. It was hard for me to get through my day. And I think that prioritizing self-care has made me excited to get up and conquer my day. Like, I truly feel like I thrive off of like routine, and that goes hand in hand with self-care for me. Showering every night before bed. Literally, I have not missed a night. And I don't even remember the last time I did not shower before bed. So I shower every night before bed. I shave and exfoliate like basically every single day, because when I do that, I feel good. Shave, exfoliate, moisturize from head to toe, like having my nails done, putting on a little bit of makeup every day. Like, those things for some people might seem like, oh, that's not important. But for me, prioritizing those things and taking care of myself in that way really has transformed my days. I thrive off of having that self-care routine. The next thing is a big one, expressing gratitude every single day. I try to look at the positive in every situation and express gratitude for my health and my family's health and for everything that I have, my house, my warm bed, my car, clothes, like everything that I have, I try to express gratitude for every single day. When I'm in that habit of expressing gratitude, good things are just constantly flowing into my life, and I really feel like that has had a huge impact. The next thing is, no one is coming to save you. I learned that kind of when I got sober and when I started my fitness journey. Like, no one's coming to save you. You are in control of your happiness and your life and your health. Like, you need to make positive changes if you want to see growth in your life. So that's a big one. The next thing is something that I'm still working on, but stop comparing yourself to others, especially on social media. It's really easy to compare yourself when you see people's highlight reels on Instagram. So I personally have unfollowed so many people. I only follow people that I am inspired by and motivated by. Like, if somebody's social media is making me feel not good or putting out bad energy, or I'm constantly comparing myself to them in their journey, like, I just unfollow. And it's really that easy, and honestly, it has made my life much more peaceful. Comparing yourself to other people will literally rob you of your peace and your confidence and your self-esteem. So don't do that. It's not worth it. The next one is super important to me, and this is something that I just kind of figured out in the last couple of years. I've learned a lot about how I want to parent my kids, and this is my husband and me both. We really want to raise them to be free thinkers, to be critical thinkers, to decide for themselves what they believe, what they're interested in. I don't want to force anything on my kids. So allowing my kids to be free thinkers was something that I realized is so important to me. Okay, the next thing is removing toxic people and relationships will leave much more room in your life for peace and harmony and for the right people. So I have removed so many people from my life in the past 10 years and I do not feel guilty about it. If you are toxic to me or our relationship is toxic, I'm cutting you off. If you're somebody who's really close to me and really important to me, I may not cut you off, but I will distance myself. And that has brought so much more peace and harmony into my life. So that is a big one. The next one is I have realized in the past year or two that I am so much more confident in my skin when I have a little bit of fat on my body, when I have a little bit more weight than maybe I've been used to my whole life. Growing up, I was always pretty like skinny. And then I started my fitness journey and I was just really focused on being super lean and super restrictive in what I ate and everything. And I realized now that I've been through my whole like bulking journey and gaining strength and muscle and a little bit of fat too, I've realized that I am so much more confident when I have a little bit of meat on my bones. Some people, that is not their goal. Some people want to be really skinny. Some people want to be super thick. Some people want to be super toned and muscular. Like everybody has different goals. And for me personally, I am so much more confident with a little something. Another thing that I realized, which I feel like you're probably starting to see now, is that I learned so much more from like age 28 to 30 than I ever even thought I would from like 20 to 28. Like my early to mid 20s, like I really thought that I had everything figured out. And now that I'm 30, that's crazy to say, I'm realizing that I have learned so much more in the past year than I have ever. And it's amazing and it makes me really excited to see what my 30s have in store for me. The next one is to stop caring so much what people think about me. There's somebody that I follow on TikTok and he talks about all the time like how sometimes he would get nervous filming himself out in public. What are these people thinking? This is awkward, like, but who cares? Honestly, no one is thinking about you. They might look like, oh wow, that person's filming, like, okay. Or they might giggle or like whatever, but who cares? Like that's something I'm still kind of working on though. Like it does feel awkward filming myself in public. So I've been challenging myself lately to just go for it and it's really liberating. So yeah, just do you, be yourself, stop worrying about what everybody's thinking. Chances are they're probably not even thinking about you. The next one is actually like a meme that I saw. Not really a meme, but it's just like a picture and I'll put it on the screen right here. So it's basically two different like perceptions on life, on the past, the present, and the future. And it's how most people look at the past as like this huge thing, is all these memories and everything. This is our past. And then the future, we have this whole big future ahead of us. And then the present is just this little dot in the middle. We need to shift our perception and see the present as all we have right now. The past is the past. It's literally gone. It does not exist anymore. The future, tomorrow's not promised. We don't know. Like just, all we have right now is the present. And I think that just slight shift in perception will really change the way that you look at how you spend your time, who you spend your time with, and what you make out of your life. The next thing is I do not owe anyone my time, my energy. I don't owe anyone favors. No one is entitled to me. No one is entitled to my time. If I don't text back immediately, that's because I'm living my life. If somebody texts you or calls you or somebody is asking something of you and you don't get back to them right away, or maybe you respond a day later, like that is up to you. You do not owe anyone your time. Nobody is entitled to that. Nobody should get angry with you if you don't text back within seconds. Like, and if they do, they clearly have not got it figured out yet, because nobody is entitled to your time. Next one is that I love being alone. I love my husband, I love my kids, I love my family unit, my tribe. Like, yes, I'm obsessed, but I also really love being alone. Like I always say, if I wasn't married and I didn't have kids, like if I was solo, I would definitely live alone. I love my peace. I love my space. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love my family. I love my friends, but like I truly just love being alone. I thrive when I'm alone. Like I can really recharge and get to know myself like on a deeper level when I have that alone time. So yeah, I love being alone. The next one is I learned how to say no. And this kind of goes back to not owing anybody anything, not owing anybody my time. Nobody's entitled to me and my time. I've learned how to say no. If something doesn't serve me or if there's something I don't want to do, I will say no thank you. Like, no, I don't want to do that. It's really powerful to be able to say no. My whole life, I feel like have been a people pleaser and like kind of a pushover in a way. I feel like I always have to say yes because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. I was always thinking about the other person before thinking about myself. Not anymore, let me tell you. Now that I'm 30, nope. I'm thinking about myself, my husband, my kids. Like, that's my priority. If I don't want to do something, I'm saying no. And it feels so damn good. All right, the next thing is to stop taking everything so personally. Not everything is about you. Not everything is about me. If somebody says something, or if somebody posts something, or if somebody is acting a certain way, it's not about me. Like if somebody's being rude or if somebody does something that makes me feel a type of way, like I need to remind myself, like, stop taking it so damn personally. It's not about you. They have their own life. They're going through their own stuff. It has nothing to do with you. And that has been a game changer. Stop taking everything so personally. The next thing is to travel as often as you can. And this is something that I haven't utilized enough. Traveling, yes, and traveling is hard to do, especially with COVID and everything that's happened. Plus it's just really expensive, especially if you want to travel overseas or like whatever. But you never hear people on their deathbed saying, wow, I really wish I would have bought that car. I really wish I would have bought that computer or like whatever. Usually it's, dang, I really wish I would have traveled more. I really wish I would have spent more time with the people that I love. So it's like, travel more. With the people you love, even better. Prioritize that. And if you can't, just in general, get out of the house more. Like this is something that my husband and I really prioritize is every single weekend we're out, we're doing something. We're not sitting in the house all day because that will literally drive you crazy and you only have one life to live. Why are you in the house? Don't like go. Like trust me, I love my bed. I love getting home after a long day and just like showering and getting in bed and binging my favorite shows. Like I love that, don't get me wrong. But I also definitely prioritize getting out of the house, go exploring, doing something with the kids, just getting out and seeing the world because like I said, you only live once and we're only here for such a short amount of time on this earth. Like, I don't want to waste any time. The next thing is haters are confused admirers. If somebody is hating on you for something, majority of the time it's because you have something that they want. They admire you for some reason. They admire the way you look, the way you act, what you do, the people you have in your life. They're admiring something about you and they're just projecting their own insecurities onto you. So if you have haters, take it as a compliment. The next thing that I learned is to follow your passion. When you love what you do, it stops feeling like work. And that's really how I feel about YouTube. As a lot of you know, I am a certified personal trainer, and that is something that I wanted to do to have that knowledge. So I went to school to be a personal trainer, but the entire reason that I got my certification was so I could bring that knowledge to YouTube, because at the end of the day, content creation and like video editing, everything that goes into YouTube, that is what I'm passionate about. I've been passionate about that since I was a kid. I used to like film me and my friends like dancing or like doing like little like acting scenes. Like I love photography and videography ever since I was a kid, and so it kind of makes sense to me now why I'm so passionate about YouTube. The point is that you should follow your passion. This kind of goes along with that too. Like you should stop listening to what everybody else thinks you should do with your life. I had somebody in my life tell me, oh, you should do this, and I'm not going to say what it was, but it was something totally different from my field of work, totally outside of YouTube and fitness and health and nutrition. Like literally it has nothing to do with that. And I was like, okay, but I'm already doing what I want to do. I don't know. It was just a weird situation. At the end of the day, just do what you want to do, follow your passion. Don't listen to what everybody else thinks you should do with your life. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Okay, that was actually my next thing on my list, and I didn't even realize. The next thing that I learned is a lot of times when you're working towards a goal and you've been working towards it and you're not quite where you want to be, you're putting in all this effort and you feel like giving up, right before you're about to give up is usually right before a breakthrough. So keep going, keep pushing. I like the saying that says, I didn't come this far just to come this far. I need to remind myself that from time to time. Just right before you feel like giving up is usually right before a breakthrough. The next thing is to always listen to your gut instinct. I feel like I've always been an intuitive person. Pisces sun, all my Pisces know. And like I said, that gut instinct has never led me astray. Like it's always been right. So I really trust that gut instinct and that intuition. The next thing that I have learned is that I don't always need to be the center of attention, or I don't always need to continue a conversation just to kind of fill like an empty space or an awkward silence. Especially when I used to drink, I always felt like I needed to be the center of attention and the life of the party. And now I've learned that I really enjoy being an observer. I really like to kind of sit back and observe and listen, and I don't feel like I need to talk so much. You learn a lot when you're the observer. The next thing that I learned is that sometimes people don't always want advice. So like if someone's coming to you and they're venting to you about something, sometimes they don't want advice. Sometimes they just want an ear to listen to, and I think that's important to ask. You know, if someone's venting to you about something, you should say like, do you want me to give you my honest advice, or do you just want me to listen? Like, do you want me to help you come up with a solution, or do you just want an ear to listen? I think that's important, and I realize that not everybody's looking for advice. Okay, the next thing that I have learned is that figuring out my own toxic traits about myself and my character and my habits, figuring out what those toxic traits are and working on healing them and fixing them, aka shadow work. If you're spiritual, you'll know. But working on those toxic traits every day and how I can be better, that will help me grow spiritually and emotionally. And that's something that I continue to work on every single day. The next thing that I've learned is that sometimes no response is a response. Sometimes no response is the best response. If somebody's trying to get under my skin, or if somebody's trying to make me mad, like whatever the situation is, sometimes not responding at all is a big ass response. Sometimes not responding is the best response that you can give. Not only does it say a lot to not respond at all, but it also will bring you peace. The next thing that I have learned is that healing my own trauma, my own childhood trauma, or just healing that inner child is something that will help me become a better mother. That is something that I have been working on the past couple years. And that kind of goes into my next one, which is gentle parenting is effective. I live by gentle parenting. You don't need to scream at your kids for them to hear you. If you make a mistake, apologize to your kids. They're human beings. Like, they need to hear that. I don't hit my kids. I don't believe in that. It actually seems very obvious to me that the way to raise good, respectful, kind human beings is to be good and respectful and kind to your kids. That doesn't mean I don't discipline them. Absolutely not. My kids are disciplined, but gentle parenting is effective, and I stand by that. That's something that I've learned. So this next one is something that I talked about in one of my recent videos, and that is that I have learned to use minor inconveniences as a little reminder to be grateful and to slow down. So like if I stub my toe, or if I smash my finger, or if I spill my drink, or whatever, something that's really annoying in the moment, but like I said, it's a minor inconvenience, I will stop. I will take a deep breath, I will slow down, and I will say, be grateful, I'm happy, I'm healthy, my family's happy, my family's healthy, like, it's all good. it's a minor inconvenience, and that has really transformed my life, because some people will let those minor inconveniences absolutely ruin their day or ruin their hour. Like, whatever it is, don't do that. Again, we only have such a short amount of time here. Like, I want to make the most of every moment, and I want to be as happy and as peaceful as I can be. So I use those minor inconveniences as a reminder to be grateful. The next thing is that tomorrow isn't promised, and I know everybody knows that. We need to start living and treating people like tomorrow isn't promised. Tell the people that you love them. Tell them more than you think you need to, because again, we don't know what tomorrow holds, and it's not worth it to go through life not telling the people you love how much you love them. And don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, so I think that was 30 things, but I have 2 extra things written on my list, so I'm just gonna throw them in there because why not? Another thing is that I've learned is that less is more. Minimalism is the goal, in my opinion. Like, when I have a clear, clean space with less clutter, less junk, just clean and clear, no knickknacks, no like little things all over the place just causing clutter and chaos in my house. Minimalism is the goal. When I have a clean space, I have a clear head, and I am so much happier with less stuff. It's a little hard with kids and a husband, but I'm constantly getting rid of stuff. I'm constantly donating. That's something that I've learned for sure. Minimalism is the goal. The last thing is a very important one. That is that the relationship with my husband is so important, and it's so sacred, because the relationship him and I have will kind of like radiate into the rest of our lives. So like, if him and I are good and we're happy and we're solid, everything in our home is good. Our kids are happy, there's peace, there's harmony, there's laughter. That's something that him and I take a lot of pride in, is the fact that we are so happy and there's so much peace in our lives. It's like, well, so many couples grow apart. As they grow through life, they grow apart and they just go down different paths. My husband and I have managed to grow together, and that is so beautiful. Prioritizing us and our marriage is so important and so sacred, and yeah, it's really beautiful. So those are the 30 things that I've learned in 30 years, and I am really happy to be 30. I am not afraid of aging at all. I feel like I'm aging gracefully so far, and I think my 30s have some really exciting things in store for me, and I have so many goals and manifestations that I have on my mind and my heart, and I'm just really excited to see where my 30s take me. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you guys liked it. I hope that you learned something. I hope that I could help in some way. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button. I would really love to have you, and leave me a comment down below and let me know your favorite lesson learned, or let me know something that you have learned in your 20 years, your 30 years, in your 50 years, whatever it may be. Let me know a lesson that you've learned that has really stuck with you. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and happy birthday to me. Or yeah, comment down below, happy birthday. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.